So before we get into any of these other settings for CSGO, these are the settings that you need to know to get out of SILT. It just involves having a good mouse. So I would prefer a Razer Naga. It involves having a 2ms gaming screen. I will link all this stuff in the description. It involves having a good computer. I'll link that in the description. You can have a dual core, 6 core. That should be good enough for this type of thing that you're going to be doing here. And you don't need a good computer because look, this is the keyboard that I play on, a default ghetto keyboard. The reason why this is such a good setup is because I use right click as my jump and C as my crouch, and I use WADS as my movement key. So as I'm jumping and crouching, I'm still able to move and shoot while jumping. That is good. Now you're wondering, how does he snipe then? How does he zoom in and out? Well, on my mouse button, or like on the mouse buttons on the side, I use 1 and 2 for primary and secondary. I use 3 to zoom in and out, and also knife when someone's behind me. If someone's like knife, well, I don't actually knife, but if you want to do that, you can definitely do it because I've done it before. Pulled out my knife, which is number 6. I pull out knife number 6, and then I press 3, and then he's dead. Then we got 5 as bomb, 9 as grenades and stuff, whatever. And then we got 7 as reload, and 12 as TeamSpeak. So I don't even have to touch the keyboard. And if I wanted to do something like 1 and 2 for something else, like buy weapons and stuff, I can do that. Now, I have an AudioEXE CFG in my description. If you want to go download that, you don't even have to. But if you want to go download it and look at it and then somehow use it, just make sure you delete your config.cfg file inside your CSGO folder. Then delete the AudioEXE file that you have already in there. Restart your game, close it down, load my settings. I will also link what I use as my launch options for my CSGO, so be sure to use those too, because that's usually what makes it better. Make sure you get your frequency setting right, because mine's about 75, so change that, and you'll have to look. I'll probably link how to change the launch options in Steam for your CSGO game. I'll probably just link it in the description because I don't know how to set that up to record the Steam screen. But right now, what we're going to go over is the mouse settings. Now we got the control panel mouse, and we also got the Razer DPI thing that it's called Razer Synapse. So roughly when I'm playing in game, it's at 1/6000. When I play in game, I put it on this, and then the in-game sensitivity, which is 6, it links together and makes it look like I'm playing on 1.600. But if I were to play at 6 sensitivity, and then try that, if you're gonna play at this sensitivity, you need to put it at 2.5 or lower, because then it mimics the same thing. For right now, I use 600, and that's all you need to know there. Now, if you don't have a good mouse, be sure to come to the control panel and go to mouse. You want to make sure this is on the middle one. Just tweak around with it, change your in-game sensitivity, start at 2.5, change this around a bit till if you're opping, make sure when you're opping, if your aimer moves too quick, because it's not supposed to move quick when you're opping. It's only supposed to move slightly so that you can get kills. Everything else, like when you're aiming with a gun, like an AK or something like that, that should move quickly. But when you're opping, it should not move at all. It should move really slow, and you should be able to turn around with it and shoot people, but when you're just looking in the crosshair, it shouldn't be able to move as quick. And that's how I've been getting a lot more kills with the op, because it doesn't move as fast. It doesn't affect everything. And then we got the option here of mouse pointing. I haven't messed with it, and again, like I said, I haven't messed with this because I don't need to, because I can lower the DPI here. If you can't lower your DPI setting, be sure to mess with these settings. Probably go halfway, and then halfway, and then just save it, and then go in game, put 2.5, and then test it. Now, this has gotten me to be a better CSGO player because I've changed all these settings. Alright, so now we're going to get into some of the game settings, and this is some of the stuff you're going to have to change. If you use my AutoEXE CFG, you don't have to change anything. So we're going to quickly go into the keyboard settings here. You're going to want to make sure all this is the same as mine. So raw input off, mouse acceleration off. You want to have 6 sensitivity, start off at 2.5 if you feel like you're going to be tweaking your settings. Start off at 2.5, lower the other settings, and keep going back and forth between it until you finally get to 6 sensitivity, where it's just enough so that you can play with it. And as you can see, my mouse doesn't move that quick. You see? It doesn't move that quick in game, but when I'm on the desktop, it moves it slow. It moves slow on the desktop, but in game, it just moves just right to where you can actually go like this, like this, like this, and it doesn't take much to do it. Instead of like having your whole mouse go like that right off the screen, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so we're gonna get into some of the settings here. Pretty much by default, I use mouse button 2 as jump. KP plus as my mic, which is button 12. My primary is 1, my secondary is 2, my knife is 3, the bomb is 5, and the grenades are 9. And then my tab button, as you can see, there is no score button for the tab button because I have another thing in my COG that takes it and makes it cycle, so that when I hit tab, it also brings up other things like the frame rate, how bad your ping is in the game or how good your ping is in the game, and everything like that, so that when you're holding tab, that all pops up, and it also makes the map bigger in your screen so that you can see the whole map area instead of just the little chunk, which is kind of cool because I hold tab to look at that and I hold tab to look at that too, so I can look at both at the same time. I can figure out where, if someone's shooting over there, I know where they're shooting from. Okay, anyway, now we're moving on to the game settings that I use. Make sure you enable the game instructor messages. Do not disable them, because sometimes when the bomb is planted, if you're near enough towards it, you walk in, it's going to tell you where the bomb is on the ground, because you'll be able to see the blinking basically better through smoke. I would say through the smoke you'll be able to see the blinking better, so make sure that's on. And max acceptable ping, be sure to put that on 50. Roughly keep it below 70, because above 70 ping you're not going to be able to play the game correctly, and I've seen people hacking with it. So I've seen people hacking with 100 and some ping, so that's the only way you're going to get kills, if you're hacking. I play games where I'm below 30 ping. Some games I've actually done good around 70, like I said. So if you use my crosshair settings, make sure you're on classic static, make sure you're using light blue. You can use whatever you want, but I like light blue. It just stands out better in the game. We got all this is probably going to be default settings right here. You don't have to really change anything. And then we got the final, I think this isn't the final one. You want to make sure you enable your console. And then you want to make sure you go to your keyboard settings, and there's your console button. Be sure to change that if you don't know what it is. Change it to whatever you feel like that you need to change it to. The button's usually beside number 1, and you don't have to press shift, and you just press it. Just press it, and that's it. You don't have to press shift. It's beside number 1 on your keyboard. Not number pad 1, but number 1 beside Q, W, and E. You'll see it there. Usually it's on most of the old keyboards like this one. New keyboards is probably not there, so change it. Change it to wherever you feel like it, and then that's how you pull up this. Let me just quickly pull it up here. So that's how you pull up this console here, and then you type EXEC auto, oh, not capitals, hold on, EXEC. And now if your game settings are bugging out on you sometimes, I always have to re-enter them. So when I hit enter, oh, you don't have to put CFG actually. You can put CFG. I think they've changed it recently, so you don't have to put it. As you can see, KP_pause isn't a valid key until you actually enter the game, so make sure you do it here before you enter the game, and then do it when you enter the game, so that it actually registers your setting. Sometimes you have to keep doing it, because sometimes it removes your setting. So make sure every time you enter a game lobby and you feel something's off, just make sure you reload your settings. Okay, so now we're going to go to audio. I keep it at 0.13 because I can hear audio just enough, and the game sound isn't as loud, but people talking are really loud. So if you feel like they're talking way too loud, mute them. Also make sure when you go into a game that you're not too loud on your headphones, because they talk louder than the game, but you should be able to still hear the game while they're talking, because the game isn't going to be as loud to where if the game is really low, when they're talking you can still hear footsteps, because it improves the footsteps depending what headset you're using too, because I have a headset where I press number 4 and it improves footsteps and not game audio, which is kind of cool. Keep it on 2 speakers. If you have 4 speakers in your headset, be sure to use 4 speakers. We got enable voice as a used mic because, well, I like to, if I'm talking to the stream, I want other people to be listening to me in the game, so I always press the button. And I like it on my mouse because I can press my mouse button and still shoot at the same time. I've done it so many times where I've pressed my mic and I've either died because of it, and if I'm pressing my mic button on my keyboard, I can't move, so I do 12, and then I have my jump button right there beside my shoot button, so I either jump or shoot, and quickly let go of my mouse button, and then I switch my weapons. You know, I can actually let go of my mouse button, maybe zoom in my sniper rifle and kill him, because it's all right there. I just gotta move my thumb and just shoot. Move my thumb and shoot. Like, that's like no delay right there. There's like it's all quick reactions with that, and then we got the mouse buttons here, which then I can still move without actually having to press jump on my keyboard, or you know, I only have to press duck, which is easier to press duck because you're only using one finger to do that, and you could find maybe it's just better to use jump on the mouse. Just trust me. There's no delay with it. If you're trying to use your space keyboard to use space bar to jump, it's just going to be, there's too much delay in that. Especially, well, if you have a newer keyboard, there's less delay with it. But since I'm using this one here, there's a delay with it. I like the delay when you're pressing WSD, because it's like you're moving to a spot and then you shoot before you move to that spot. It's kind of like the keyboard's delaying, but your mouse isn't. I kind of like that a little bit. I definitely will upgrade to a better keyboard soon enough. Probably a Razer keyboard, because that is going to be good. And then, like I said, you need a good computer. GTX 760 Ti is what I use. I'll probably link everything in the description for my computer build. I'll link the gaming monitor in the description. I'll probably link the webcam in the description that I'm using here to record. I'll probably link the microphone that I'm using in the description. And everything else around me here, like the mouse, I'll link all that in the description. I'll put my autoefc.cfg in the description. And then we'll finally get to the video settings. This should be automatically already preset for you. You might just have to come in and change a few things. Like when you first load up, you'll get widescreen. Just make sure you go to normal 4:3 and then go to 1020 x 768. Display full screen. If you change it to anything else, if you change it to window, it won't work correctly. Also, if you change it to full screen windowed mode, it actually goes back to 1080p. So do not do that. Just keep it on full screen. So we got global shadow high, low, high, enabled, multi anti-aliasing mode, none. You can also change this to 4 if you want. I keep it on none. Texture and filtering mode, billionaire, FXAA anti-aliasing enabled. Disable and disable, because you don't need those. You do not need motion blur, and you do not need this vertical sync with the graphics card that I'm using. I'm not sure if you're going to need it with any other graphics card. I get up to 140 some frames with this graphics card, and I only use 95. As you can see, max underscore it's FPS underscore max. As you can see, I only use 95. And that's all you need. All you need is 95. You don't need higher than that. You don't need 300, you don't need 100, you don't need 150, you just need 95. I used to play on 60, but I find 95 is a little bit better. I used to be good at 62, like on 60 frames, but I find 95 is better, and then live streaming, 60. And then that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be making a series in the future. I'm going to probably make 2 more accounts to play with. One for silver games, one for Gold Nova, and then my main account probably for only higher ranks beyond Gold Nova once I get there. I'm going to make one for Gold Nova only, one for silver only, because I'm going to be probably playing with a lot of Twitch viewers. And I'm going to be using that third account for silvers only, because I don't want to get D-ranked if I'm high enough on my second main account, because I'm playing with like a silver 1 or silver 2 or silver 3. But I am going to make a series with my second account called How to Get Out of Silver, and I'll probably just do a few matches with just all the default settings of CSGO only, see how good we do, and then I'll import my settings and see how good I do. I already know that my settings here dramatically change the gameplay for me, since I've changed to all these new settings, and the mouse sensitivity works perfectly. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All feedback is welcomed. If you want to check out my Twitch channel, it's right there on screen, probably in the description too. If you want to play with me, be sure to leave feedback on my YouTube channel. If you want to play with me on CSGO on my alternate accounts, I'm gonna make that very soon, and I'll probably make another video announcing add this game tag, add this Steam ID to play with me, and I will invite you to those lobbies when you're online or when I'm online, when I'm streaming. The only thing is I won't be inviting people to my main account just yet until I know if you're a Gold Nova, I'll invite you, but if you're not, then I don't know. But when I'm on my alternate account, I will definitely play with you. Just be sure to leave below this video here if you want to play with me, and if enough people want to play with me, I will definitely start adding you. Leave your Steam ID underneath this YouTube channel video, and then the next video I will make another video stating that I've actually made the account, and whoever's already added me, I'll play with you.